Hello, this is Saud. My full name is Saud and I was a BFS student at CCNY. I just graduated this last semester and don't know what to do with my life. Now quite confused. I work at MoMA with the visitor services. I've always wanted to work in a museum. I believe I applied a lot of places and I worked for as a volunteer for a while with MoMA, and then after working for six months as a volunteer, I applied for a permanent position, and they selected me. But the whole thing is, I love to be surrounded by art all the time. Why not a museum? That's the best place for an artist. My BFA film's title is The God of Small Things. I know people think it's a stylistic choice that I made in the film, and in certain scenes, uh, people don't see the mistake, but I know where the mistakes are, and I definitely want to go back and reshoot the film if I have the chance and the money. But it's very difficult to go back to Bangladesh and to reshoot. The God of Small Things is about Muslims killing animals and how violence is built in us. When I grew up as a Muslim, and I know that violence is built in us. It's not just bad Muslim or good Muslim. And the film talks a lot about the violence. When I was shooting the film, and we found a place. I looked for a place where there's no electricity, no road, nothing. There is no civilization there, and still people were living there in a very much so poverty, and they do not speak my language, or they do not look rich at all. They're very poor. So when I was making the film, those people were looking at me and they were always smiling. They were not showing that they're poor. They were not begging that they were poor. They were most of the time showing that they're the most happy people in the world. And every time I was visiting somebody for something, they would they were like so graciously inviting me to sit and stay some time at their home. They would bring food from their neighbors asking and to feed me basically. And I felt that was love, and it's more than just respect or anything for the rich, but I really felt that was love. You don't see where people try to hide their own pain to to show the others that they are happy. I have so many admiration for different artists. So when I think about art or painting, I admire Georges Pierre Seurat. He's the father of pointillism, so I admire him and his patience for pointillism. And when I think about poetry, I have a blind, dedication and admiration for Baudelaire, Charles Baudelaire. And in my life, I Robert plays a very important part. I didn't know anything about film before becoming a filmmaker, and so he really opened my eyes about filmmaking. I didn't know even filmmakers from my country back home. So coming to America, I knew the master, and like there are filmmaker master from my country who are world famous. So Robert really opened my eyes about film and the masters of the world. It was over a hookup site. We met for hook up, a one night stand maybe, and I didn't care much. Then nearly third time, he invited me out for a museum to go to Met, and that's how we started dating each other and knowing each other. But the first time we met was nothing romantic. It's more about sexuality.